You want to break
Welcome everybody to Phandom Knights, where we break down pop culture one fandom at a time. It feels weird saying that without Chris here.
I
know. Today we're going over episode 2 of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the Star Spangled Man.
Yes.
That's this
I
whole episode.
Just laughed at the title to be honest.
Right. I wonder, like the first episode, New World Order was like kind of like ominous, like just foreshadowing like what's gonna happen, and then like this episode was just like, all right, like super cheesy. Yeah. So
I got a very intense vibe from the first episode.
Oh yeah,
like trailer name or whatever.
Like there were some like tense moments in this episode, but like I just for the overall feel of this, like this new captain is like so cocky and like.
I feel like he is just trying to be, like he says, the best Captain America he can be.
Yeah, like, and once again, like he said, like he's got huge shoes to fill. Like, I mean, how do you top Cap? Like, you know, Steve Rogers.
You don't.
Right? you just can't.
Unless he can wield Mjolnir.
Oh, especially after this episode, like, there's no way he would ever be able to like wield that hammer.
Oh, he's definitely not.
No.
Nope. I do like how they're implementing just more comic book stories and like characters and stuff from the comics into this MCU stuff, because they did kind of a little bit after Civil War. That's kind of when they started doing a lot more like comic book more adaptations, I guess. Or just bringing more elements from it in.
Yeah, and I mean they introduced Black Panther in that one, which added in like a whole new like slew of like
whole new world.
Which, you know, with this episode, like speaking of Black Panther, like this episode kind of touched on that a lot too, like introducing more like black superheroes. Because like when Sam was like, you know, knowing that like there was a black, you know, Captain America essentially, like back in like the World War II, like that would have been huge for people like back then.
Heck yeah, and just to find out that he was in prison for. So
30
long.
years. What the hell?
Like why? I feel like that's not the last time we see that character.
Oh, absolutely not. Funny part is it's not the first time this guy's actually done like a comic book character.
Oh really?
So
he looks familiar.
So do you ever watch Supergirl on TV? No, and that's fine. Like it's one of those like off shows. Like you kind of have to be like really into it to like watch it.
Sure.
But he plays the Martian Manhunter's dad from Mars in the show, which was funny because it was another callback to where he played the voice of Martian Manhunter during like the early 2000s Justice League animated show. So like this guy's done like a ton of like voice acting and like comic book stuff in his past. So I'm kind of excited to see him like come back to like the comic book scene.
How did you feel when he just threw that tin through the
wall? Oh my god, I crapped myself. I was like,
I like watching it with my mom because she has just these like overexpressive like reactions, and so it's just fun. Like I'm like half watching it, half watching her to see her reactions. And so when that thing goes through the wall, she's just holy crap. Like,
what I liked about that scene though is like up until that point, like they keep it like the camera focused on his face, so you don't see his body, and like I'm expecting like some like. From the back of his head, I don't know why I was automatically expecting like Donald Glover from like the guy from Lethal Weapon, Danny Glover.
Yeah, Danny.
And like
Donald
just
Glover's Solo. Guy.
Yeah, right. But like some old like black actor, which I mean, yeah, he's old, but like he was in shape,
right? Which
threw me off. I was expecting like some like flabby old man, and then like when they showed his body, I was like, oh man, he would beat you down.
So it just makes you think that like the serum that they used for him, obviously they said a lot of people tried to like remake the serum or whatever. So obviously his was flawed in the way that he was aging, where Steve wasn't.
Well, not necessarily.
Or do you think Steve would actually age too?
I think Steve would have aged normally
because he was frozen for so long. Exactly. And we only saw him age like 10 years.
Yeah, because I mean, after.
So you think? Oh, I suppose because that's why he does grow old. Because when he does go back, he does have the serum still.
And then like he just
because he loses all that muscle mass. It looks like when he's old Cap.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's if you spend 30 years in prison, like what else are you gonna do? But like,
oh yeah.
Especially if you have super soldier serum, like I'd be jacked my entire the whole time I'm in prison.
Fair enough, I would be too.
Which also baffles me. Like, he didn't even try to, like, break out of prison. Like, a guy with that kind of strength would easily be able to.
Well, it's just like in this episode too, like when they arrested Bucky. Like, he could have very well just went, snap! I'm gonna run faster than cars. Like, good luck,
right?
buddy.
So, speaking of, like, so early part of the episode, so the whole truck scene. Oh, yeah. Like, that hostage situation where they think there's a hostage in the truck. When you see Bucky, like, just book it past that back truck, I was like, that is so fun, like, but it bugged me, that scene bugged me, because I'm like, part of me is like, why isn't the driver in the truck behind them doing anything?
Right.
Like...
Yeah, I thought, like, why wouldn't you, like, speed up and try to hit him, or just, like, turn to the left? Yeah. I saw a couple flaws. There's one other flaw that I saw, too, that, like, remember when they were walking back after they dove into the field or whatever, and they're walking back, and it shows behind them, there's no Jeep. And then the next shot, 2 seconds later, Jeep drives by.
I didn't pick up on that.
Yeah, there was no Jeep behind them when they showed the whole road for, like, a mile behind them. There's no Jeep. And then magically 5 seconds later...
I wonder if there might have been like a hill or something that they...
There might have been, but I saw that as a flaw in my mind, so I don't know. I could be wrong. So
it's either that or they're doing like 80 and then just... Alright.
So should we start off like with what's going on in the beginning of the episode?
Yeah, we're jumping all over the place,
but... so it starts off with the new Captain America, or John Walker, from the comics, which is cool. Visiting his old high school, and we see him kind of removing that little tag.
Which I didn't, because like they don't reveal his name until like after that scene. Right. I was like, what does JW10 stand for? Like, yeah, because with no context, that scene just felt weird to me. Because like I was like, all right, so he's in a locker room. I'm assuming it was like a barracks kind of thing with his buddy walking in, and I'm like, this just feels like an odd moment, I guess. Yeah, but
then you start realizing what's in the background and stuff. Like, this might be a high school or something. Right. So I just put that John Walker is really feeling the importance and the weight of it.
I literally put down he understands the weight of the suit. Yeah. Like, he just seems like it's such a heavy burden. Right. Which obviously it is.
Oh, of course. But, I mean, like you said, super huge, like,
boots to fill, yeah.
Boots, yeah. His buddy Lamar Hoskins helps him with telling him it's time to go to work, and it's all part of the job, the whole Star Spangled Man.
So, the second he walked out, I literally wrote down the first thing that popped in my head: does every Captain America have a black best friend?
True.
Which the funny part is, I actually read an article today that was saying that like the MCU has a problem with doing that. Where they put like people of color as like the automatic sidekick for a lot of like characters. Oh, sure. Obviously, Black Panther's a little bit different, right. But like they did that with Captain America. They've done it in the past with Iron
Man, Rhodey.
Exactly. The one that I didn't agree with this article with was they said they put down that Monica Rambeau in WandaVision felt more like a sidekick, and I'm like, I didn't feel that way about her.
I felt that more as an ally.
And not just that, but like I felt that as like an origin story for like a hero coming into like her own like powers.
Not right. I thought it was more of an origin story.
Yeah, it definitely didn't feel like, you know, a sidekick stepping into like that role.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I definitely didn't feel like it was a sidekick at all.
Yeah. What did you think of the new suit? Like the suit design for?
I like it. Like I like how it's like just the top 3 star points and the A without the actual dash going through.
Knowing that it was like, I didn't think about it at first, but it's more close to like the U.S. Patriot like outfit from the comics, right? Which
with the star on the side instead of the center.
And I didn't think about that at first, but like when he first walked out, I was like, man, I just don't like this new suit. Like it just feels so weird seeing him Captain America.
That guy? Like calling him Captain America, but
in the comics that's how it works. Like, because John Walker was supposed to become Captain America, and then like I think at some point he changes his name to U.S. Agent.
Oh sure.
And Battlestar in the comics is U.S. Agent's sidekick.
Oh okay.
Or partner, as we call it now in the MCU, because the whole Jeep ride.
Oh yeah.
But the whole scene with him walking up on onto that like little like center field with like the press conference there. It definitely gave like a parallel to like Steve's origin. Because, like, when he became Captain America, all they did was make him, like, a giant PR case.
Right.
And, like, alright, well, we're just gonna, like...
Propaganda kind
exactly.
of
Like, we're just gonna use you to, like, sell the image to the public.
But again, that's, like, kind of, like, what the people needed even back then, though, too. Like, they needed this positive hope to kind of get them through this World War II, and then now it's like... half of the world, 3.5 whatever billion people are just now back in existence.
Right.
After we just adapted to the new life.
Yep.
So it's all kind of crazy.
How do you think that's gonna work for, like, later on, I guess, with, like, the... I can't even think right now. I had this train of thought and then I literally lost it halfway through.
No problem, I got you. So I thought the funny little joke when he's talking to the reporter there on stage, how do eagles just fly over your head majestically?
Oh my god!
And he's like, do flags just majestically? And he's like, flags just majestically wave in the air when I walk by.
He's so full of himself already, which bugs me.
Yeah, like, if I was in that position, I would be a lot more how Steve Rogers was. Very, very humble.
Right.
He didn't let it go to his head a whole lot.
Yeah. Well, because, during World War One, when, like, he was doing that, like, he was very, like... No,
Wasn't he trying to prove that he was actually a soldier and not just some puppet propaganda guy?
Well, he wanted to prove... First, well, before that happened, like, when he joined, he just wanted to, like, have his... like, chance to serve the country.
Right.
But, like, after he got the chance and, like, became, like, a super soldier, everybody's like, no, well, we just wasted billions of dollars. Like, we can't just throw you out on the field to get killed. And he's like, I just want to be a soldier like everybody else.
Right.
Like, I'm just a regular guy. And... which, John Walker kind of, like, played that a little bit when he's like, like, I'm just trying to do my best here. But, like... The humor was like I kind of understood it, but yeah, it just seemed like a little too much for the boots, I guess, or for the suit.
Right. Should we go over his resume? 3 Medals of Honor. He ran 3, which no one has ever had more than 2.
Right.
Well, obviously, the first U.S. citizen in history to have 3 Medal of Honors.
Yeah.
He ran RS-1 missions in counterterrorism and hostage negotiation rescue. And they studied his body at MIT, which I don't know how many bodies they study at MIT, but that's probably got to be a high prestige there too. I don't know.
Probably.
Because he set records in speed, endurance, and intelligence.
And the footage of him throwing the shield.
Dude, I thought that was Steve throwing the shield at first.
At first.
He threw it like a super soldier.
Well, and that's what I wanted to know, because like he straight up says like, no, I don't have super strength, but like, could have fooled me, man. That looked like you were jacked.
Yeah, didn't we... Well, I guess that scene from the trailer could have been John Walker throwing. Because I thought it was Sam and Bucky practicing. But then it looks a lot like the shot of this John Walker.
Because there is leaked footage or like screenshots of like Sam in a Captain America suit.
Oh, okay.
But I haven't looked at them yet.
Okay.
I don't want to either.
Yeah.
But like, so it might be something in the next like couple episodes.
Right.
Here's hoping.
Oh,
because that would be awesome.
I do like how the first episode was kind of establishing the characters, kind of showing them where they are post-Blip and post-Endgame and stuff like that, and then I like how this was really just diving into, okay, this is the story, and this is where the world is going with the story. Especially,
like, introducing, like, the Flag Smashers. And I finally caught that during the end credits this time, seeing the Power Brokers watching.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I was looking
You saw the name mentioned, though, in this episode.
In this episode, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
But, like, I was looking for it in the credits. I was like, was he lying?
Oh, no.
No, he was there. And then we cut to Bucky just showing up to, like, talk to Sam.
But he...
or do you got something else?
I got something real quick. So, it shows... So at the end of that little thing between John Walker at the stadium or whatever, he says, even though I don't know him, Steve, he still feels like a brother. And then it cut to Bucky, and he just
Oh yeah, when he's watching. Oh my gosh, I was expecting
Like, don't call him a brother, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I'm his brother. Like, if anyone's a brother of Steve Rogers, it's Bucky. Because
oh, absolutely.
They go back 90 years.
Yeah, exactly. Since, well,
probably even more, 100 years plus, probably.
Yeah, because
he's 106.
He's 106. So and they grew up together. So like, yeah, I mean, it's probably been like 90 plus years.
I'd say probably closer to 100. To be honest, I'm sure they know each other as kids.
Oh yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. A whole century of just knowing someone. And then someone's like, yeah, I like knew he was Captain America. He was a brother. Nah.
Oh, man, I was totally expecting like Bucky to like just punch Walker in the face the second he like meets him.
Oh
just,
yeah. With the arm.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So then, like you said, I think it cuts to Sam looking at a poster of the new Cap, and Sam is going to Munich, Germany. Or
yep.
Munich. Okay. Munich.
Yeah.
I had it right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So then, yeah, this is when you say Bucky comes and confronts Sam.
So I love the whole like they get past the whole like their little like argument like, oh, you shouldn't have given up the shield. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we get that.
Right.
The whole androids, aliens, and wizards comment.
I love that. I love that scene.
Wizards are real.
He's part of the big three.
What are you going up against Gandalf now?
How do you know Gandalf?
Dude, so first
I read the book when it came out in 1937.
Which
you see the?
I've seen those like those memes about that like
how it came. Did you see how it came out in 1937 only in the UK and it came out in the United States in 1938?
Either way, like Tolkien, like people weren't like major fans of him until like later on, like after he passed away.
Yeah, and he was in the military at that time, I'm sure. So I'm sure he was probably.
But like the concept, like Bucky is a nerd.
Oh yeah.
Like the fact that he read Tolkien before, like it was like majorly popular.
Right.
It just baffles me.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, I've read this. What like.
When it came out.
Like I just want to see, I want to see him like nerd out with like somebody else.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Like I can't picture it with Sam.
No.
But like if he runs into like, if he could run into, especially because of the time period, if there could be like a moment between him and Peter Quill, that would be amazing. Like.
Oh yeah. Because they're both like very. I guess I'll say illiterate when it comes to pop culture.
Oh, especially because, like, I mean, Peter only knows things from, like, the early 80s.
Right.
Or, like, mid-80s. And so, there's got to be a moment... Well, the tough part is, like, if Bucky would remember anything from that time period, though.
Like, while he was a Winter Soldier?
Yeah.
He remembers killing all the people and stuff. I'm sure he remembers all the missions. But again, like, other than that, he was, like, tied up and locked up and being brainwashed the whole time until his next mission.
Yeah, so who would he be able to geek out with then? Like... Steve would be the...
Agent Coulson, maybe?
Oh, yes.
I think that'd be nice.
That'd be amazing. Or I could see him, like, having, like, weird conversations with Vision. Like...
Oh, yeah. I could see that.
Once they do that whole Vision, like, figure that out, because...
Once he's back?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which he will, right? Right, guys? Right?
Yeah.
No? Okay. So then Bucky's like, okay, I'm going with you. So...
And then they have that weird moment on the plane where it's like, what's the plan?
What's the plan? He's like, I don't have to tell you or whatever, Buck.
Oh.
Only Steve called me that.
Oh, man.
I thought you actually got pissed for a second. I'm like, okay, jeez.
Right? And then, no shoot, just jumping out of the plane.
Oh my god.
I was expecting him to, like, grab onto something, like a tree, which it kind of looked like he was trying to do, but hitting the ground at 200 feet would kill a normal man.
Oh, yeah.
Like, easily. Well, jumping out of a plane,
20 stories.
Even at 200 feet into, like, water, would break your legs.
Oh, I'm sure.
But, like, no, just hits the ground and he's just out of breath.
But, I mean, again, the vibranium arm does cut... When people have said, like, if you are jumping out of a plane without a parachute, your best chances for survival are either, over water or over trees.
Really?
Yeah, because the trees can break, and the branches and stuff will break your fall. And you'll want to try to land on your legs, you'll break your legs, but you might have a better chance to survive. But, they said the try to land for trees because the branches will break your fall. So it actually does make sense that he went into trees. But again, the vibranium arm absorbs, impact. And so the whole impact until he hits the ground is pretty much fine, I guess. And plus, he did slow his fall from the branches, too.
I suppose, yeah. But still, that just kind of threw me off, and I'm like, alright, well...
I just figured super soldier, he didn't think anything.
Yeah, I'm just glad they didn't do, the superhero landing where he just, hit his knee. Yeah.
That would have been so stupid.
It would have been so over dramatic, though, for that scene.
Oh, man, that would have been terrible.
And then the stealth mission in, I like that they actually name dropped the White Wolf again.
Oh yeah, and he was like, "Whoa!" You're like, really?
He
was shocked by that.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he knows who the White Wolf is, though. I know Bucky does, but
right. Same.
And comic fans, the White Wolf's supposed to be an assassin.
Oh, okay.
For Wakanda.
Oh.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he's supposed to be a Wakandan assassin.
That's cool.
or spy.
But a good assassin, right? Kills bad guys?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
But, alright, going into...
I think they might work that way? Because, again, in this episode, they do say they're going to go their separate ways, but who knows if they do. But maybe he does go...
It'd be awkward to see them go their separate ways after episode 2 with 4 episodes of, their names in the title.
Right. But, I mean, he did say, during the first episode that I had a little peace in Wakanda. What if he wants to go back to get more peace? Because remember, he even does say in this episode, if he was wrong about you, he was wrong about me. Wrong about me being able to not become the Winter Soldier again.
Maybe.
And so what if he just needs that peace again or something? And the only peace he ever had was in Wakanda. Thought there.
Yeah, because that'd be cool if he shows up in Black Panther too.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Or dons it, gets a different outfit.
Yeah. New vibranium arm, because he's going to lose this one this season.
Are you sure?
Why not?
Alright.
So I thought the whole thing was cool. Sam caught the whole fall on his camera with Red Wing. I caught that all on camera, right?
Right.
So then, we got the... Bucky's like, I got a vibranium arm, we got a clear path, let's take it. And he's like, I can fly, who gives it? And then Sam sees a hostage in the truck.
Yeah, well,
Did you think it was a hostage? I thought it was a hostage.
I thought it was a hostage, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm tied up. Looks like she's tied up, sitting on the floor.
Yeah, I mean, legs up against the chest. I'm definitely a hostage.
Right.
And then I thought it was kind of cool that when they get. So yeah, you get Bucky just running up to the second truck or to that first truck.
Yeah.
Opening it, and then the girl is totally oh, but weird smile. I
think she was just trying to get him off guard to
oh,
not
absolutely.
expect that punch, but
I was expecting when you see that smile, I was expecting one of those kicks to the chest.
Oh yeah.
Just boot.
Do you think it was? I mean, we didn't see it, but do you think it was?
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
Because he does go boom and then grabs with his vibranium arm.
Yeah. Maybe.
Or maybe he just punched, because she did seem to like to punch a lot.
Oh yeah. But I just thought it was cool that we got a glimpse at her face right off the bat.
Oh yeah. And do you know who that is?
In the comics or
In the comics, she's switched genders from the comics. In the comics, it was Carl. Where do I have it here? Carly Morgenthau. In the comics, it's Carl Morgenthau. So. And Carl Morgenthau was in the comics was a older gentleman, in his 40s or so. And in this, it's obviously a younger woman. So maybe she's playing a daughter of Carl Morgenthau, or maybe it's they're just gender swapping the role.
Maybe.
So who knows? I think that's pretty cool though.
Ooh, that could actually be a tie-in for Zemo then, because if Zemo knew her father maybe.
Oh yeah.
As an old
Hydra person or something maybe.
Yeah, a revolutionary.
Sure.
Could be.
That makes sense. So the girl who plays Carly Morgenthau, the girl who kicks Bucky, she plays Enfy's Nest in Solo: A Star Wars Story. The head of the Marauder.
Yeah.
Well, the group is called Enfy's Nest, but she plays the leader of Enfy's Nest.
Nice. Just random roll.
A lot of Star Wars people are going to Marvel, and Marvel going into Star Wars.
I'm assuming it's because of the whole Disney.
Well, right. They're all Disney contracts. Yeah. If you sign a Disney contract, you're...
I do all franchises.
Right. You are subject to star in any kind of franchise we want.
hate to say it. I'm a Disney franchise slut, essentially. Like
I am, though.
Like you personally?
I love I love me Marvel and Star Wars.
Me personally, I am...
I am a Disney slut.
Jeez.
Okay, we'll get back to topic,
So yeah, we get into this fight on top of the trucks.
Just getting the butts kicked out.
Oh my gosh. But I mean, like, how do you fight? You have one regular guy in a wingsuit, and then one super soldier versus 4 super soldiers?
Well, remember they do... See, remember where she's Red Wing? He's like 5. And then all of a sudden, when they leave, they say there's 8 super soldiers now. So there's a group of 8.
Yeah.
So we know it's 8 total people in these trucks.
Which I'm assuming were probably like the 2 people driving, or 2 people in the...
I'm sure, like, when we saw them loading, I'm sure there's people already in the driver's seats. Yeah. That they just didn't see.
But still, like, even 4 of them, like, fighting, though.
Oh, you're like, they were 4 Steve Rogers.
Yeah. With no inhibitions, because they're like, we don't care, we'll murder you.
Right. See, the thing is I still think this is a third-party Flag Smashers group. I don't think these are part of the Flags, because Carly Morgenthau, when she goes into that shelter place...
Yeah.
She gets that text saying, like, you stole supplies, like, if we find you...
No, they didn't say supplies. It just said you... What did it say?
You stole something.
You took what was mine. That's what it said.
You took what was mine. If I find you, I'm going to kill you.
Yep. And I'm assuming that...
Do you think they broke off from the original Flag Smashers? Is what I'm thinking. Like, they're their own separate group who have their own separate agenda?
No, I think they are the Flag Smashers. What I think happened is that they took something...
Oh, from
the power broker.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
And he's obviously out to get what, like, the price that he has.
Oh, sure, because they even said the power broker's men are after them at the plane site. Okay. That makes way more sense.
But yeah, when, and then you get, so you get the new captain and Battlestar to save the day.
Yeah.
Quote unquote. Or to at least save Bucky and Sam.
Yeah, saves their day.
But that whole Jeep ride was just awkward.
I will give John Walker credit that he does have some pretty good precision with that shield.
He does. Right?
Given that, he does have some pretty good skill with that shield.
I mean...
And just shooting like that and getting like a good chest shot. Like, he shot at such a weird angle with that pistol.
Yep. It also felt weird seeing, like, a Captain America with a gun like that.
Yeah.
Like,
it felt weird.
Well, with a tiny little pistol. Because, like, after World War II, when, like, Steve woke up from the ice, I don't think I ever saw him. He never used a gun.
Never.
Which...
Unless he stole it from an enemy to just break in half or throw away.
Yeah. But, like, shooting somebody, not his style.
Nope. His style is a shield.
Yeah.
Knocking people out. He's not about killing people. He's a Batman, essentially.
Right.
He just wants to incapacitate you until
Absolutely.
Until Batman's no longer in that vicinity. So. John and Lamar try to offer them a ride.
So
tries to get them to join forces.
So I'm gonna bring this up later, but did you have every time John Walker's on the screen, do you pay attention to, like, his facial features?
Yeah, I know who he is.
No. Okay, well, we'll get to it, but, like, because I noticed him more towards the end.
I can tell through his facial features.
On who he is or what?
Right.
Okay.
I mean, on who his parentage is.
Oh, all right.
What?
No, well, it's
in real life, not
yeah. No, it's super noticeable, like, towards that last scene when I'll get to it.
Okay.
So then we get that bonding, like, so they walk away from the Jeep.
Right.
And then they have that weird, like, bonding moment on the plane,
which
I personally loved, like, them kind of, like, growing closer, but, like, also, like, that little bit of animosity towards each other at the same time.
It's, I put in here, it's exactly like their press conference. And if you watch, just Google sometime, it's super funny to watch. Just Google Sebastian Stan and Anthony Mackie, like, press tour highlights. Some of the funniest stuff in the world. And just their dynamic together in those press conferences is the exact same in this.
I think I watched one of Sebastian Stan, and doesn't Anthony Mackie like constantly talk about like his house, like Sebastian's house, where like he just like overly or over shares like weird things that like Sebastian Stan has in his house.
Yep.
Like things that obviously don't exist in his house,
but they both like just rat on each other, but playfully. But then they'll both gang up and like rat on Tom Holland a lot. It's just super funny. I mean, you can just tell they're super good friends, like off screen and on screen.
Well,
it's the same dynamic that they have. They're constantly just ragging on each other, but deep down they know that like I got you, man, kind of thing.
Yeah. So then this is the part where we get Bucky says that like he knows a guy to like talk to.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't really do. Where do they go? Boston, right? Or no, Baltimore. Baltimore.
Because originally in the comics, Isaiah is name drop, I guess.
Yeah.
But he's always from Harlem, which a lot of black characters in Marvel Comics happen to just be from Harlem.
He might be from Harlem, but like this is where he's been since prison. Right. Possibly.
I mean, just a couple of videos I watched, like I think it was Screen Crushes or something like that, they said that like a lot of black comic book characters come from Harlem.
Oh yeah.
So it's just kind of nice that they're kind of branching out a little bit instead of just one central location. It's just terrible.
I love that little kid who like sees Sam and he's like, "Oh, it's the Black Falcon." He's like, "It's just Falcon."
It's just Falcon. Yeah.
Well, my daddy says you're the Black Falcon. Hold on, is it because I'm the Falcon and I'm black? Well, technically, yeah. Doesn't that make you the black kid then?
Yeah, I love that.
I was like, oh man, Disney actually like got away with that joke. That's kind of funny.
They did. I kind of like the. I like how they showed the racial tension.
Oh yeah. Because like I literally put down racist cop. Wow.
Mm-hmm. I just like how they implement that because it's going on in our culture right now.
Oh yeah.
So it's just kind of cool to see on film too, or I guess on TV show or whatever.
Mm-hmm. But like the twist on that when they like, oh sorry Mr. Barnes, you have a warrant out for your arrest. I was like, they're gonna take the white guy. Oh crap.
Yeah, true. Yeah, they stopped the black guy and took the white guy.
So what did you think when the cop said, "Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Wilson, I didn't recognize you without the goggles on"? Like
his Falcon goggles.
Yeah, but what did you think about that? Like, really, that's the part that's gonna like.
Obviously, very racist.
Oh yeah.
Excuse for
like
mistaking him, but.
So like, would you have recognized him if like, or would you have not recognized him if he had like his whole suit without the goggles?
Right.
Like
yeah, if he had the wings spread out, everything, but no goggles, you'd be like, "Who are you?" "Oh, what's up, Falcon?"
"Oh, Mr. Wilson, I'm so glad you're here."
It's like, oh my gosh. Have you seen College Humor's, like, Batman videos?
Yes!
Remember when he's dealing with Two-Face? He's like,
Harvey,
where'd you go? There you are, Two-Face. Wait, Harvey, where'd you go?
What'd you do with Harvey Dodge? Oh, Harvey, be careful, Two-Face is around here.
I love those videos. What do you think of the mantra, one world, one people? I like that.
I like it.
In their sense, bad, but maybe, I guess.
I mean, yeah, like, I wish people would think like that more often.
Right.
But, like, I still think we do need, like, borders, though.
Oh, yeah.
Like, because obviously, like, if you had, like, zero borders in the world, like...
Oh, the world would be chaos.
Yeah.
Which is what they want, I guess, but...
Right.
But, yeah.
And I'm hoping we get, like, a better glimpse at, like, what they want besides that, like, what their goal is. Besides just, like, getting rid of borders.
Right.
Because, like, first off, like, how do you have, like, a governing body without like, a area in which to govern?
True. And they wanted things to be the way they were during the blip. How were things during the blip? We don't know.
Well, because they talk about that, because they said...
A little bit of Endgame, but not a whole lot.
Well, because they talk about how they want, like, the people who were in power before the blip...
out of power?
Yeah, to not win
Oh, sure.
Because, like, obviously, like, so, for example, if you have a 5-year gap, right?
Mm-hmm.
If it happened, so it happened in what, when did the blip happen?
2018.
2018? So, 2 years into a president's term, right?
Oh, sure.
So, what happens if the president blips out?
True. Did the president blip out?
No, but I'm saying, like, they don't say it.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious, like, what happens in that situation? If he blips back in 5 years later with a different president, does he assume power again? He was never impeached. There's nothing governing saying that, like, or there's no laws that, like, say that, like, he wouldn't be president.
Do you think that organization, did you catch the organization's name that deals with re-blipped people?
It's CRG.
I know that they have the duties that they set on screen in this episode, but do you think they have, I'm sure they have more, just like any other place does. Do you think they maybe had something to do with dealing with that? Like political power?
Probably.
Like deciding and stuff like that?
Yeah, probably. Because, I mean, like, how do you... Because, yeah, what would happen for, like, the new president?
Right, like, there has to be a third-party organization that kind of is that biased mediator between the two, because obviously it's still going to be Republicans versus Democrats fighting over it.
Yeah, but, like, even on, like, a small level, like, what happens if, like, so, say, like, if Jeff Bezos, like, before, because, I mean, like, he recently stepped down as, like...
The CEO? Right.
But, like, say he blipped out during that, without stepping down.
True.
And then, like, comes back. Well, I mean, so, first off, what happens to all of his funds?
Yeah. Oh,
like,
sure.
all of your money, because,
right.
like, any money you have saved is going to be distributed to, like, whoever's left.
I feel like we should dedicate a whole episode to talking about, like, the effects of the blip.
That would be, yeah, because...
Just kind of me, you, and Chris will just kind of brainstorm, just like
Wahlberg it up?
Yeah. Just kind of see what do we think would happen to the butterfly effect over...
Oh, yeah. And the adverse effects of, like, everybody coming back.
That, too. I think that'd be a really fun topic.
That'd be, yeah.
Let us know if you want to hear it, Phandom Knights.
I'm gonna mark that
down. So Bucky wants to take the shield back and, like, just take it.
Oh,
and
yes.
Sam is like, let me remind you of what happened last time that we stole it. He's like, Steve and I were on the run for 2 years, and then they name drop Sharon Carter. And they said Sharon was named an enemy of the state. I don't know if she was in prison, they didn't say that. They just named an enemy of the state. I assume they would try to imprison her, right? To some degree?
As an enemy of the state?
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Like, obviously a warrant is probably out for her arrest, obviously. Yeah, do you think what do you think happened for her since Civil War? Do you think she's been undercover the whole time, like, in the shadows? And that's why she's appearing to help Bucky and Sam?
Yes, because Civil War is when she's working with the FBI, right?
Yes.
And she takes the shield and gives it to Cap when they're in that super cheap, like, weird, like, Volkswagen Bug.
Right.
Yeah, I would,
Oh, right, she steals the shield.
She takes the shield for them.
Right.
And then he kisses her.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Because, yeah, both, Sam and Bucky, like, just look at him like, you lucky dog, you.
I know. The sexiest woman. Anyways.
Right? But yeah, I would think, yeah. She'd have to be... Because they haven't dealt with whether or not she blipped out or not.
Sure?
Yeah.
Sure. I want to think that she didn't. Me personally. I want to feel like she didn't. I just have some kind of vibe that she had to survive throughout the 5 years. Through the chaos.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Who knows?
I could see that, yeah.
I guess we'll find out maybe this coming episodes, you know?
Yeah, because she is supposed to come in
the show. She's confirmed to be in this show. I mean, we've already seen footage of it. So it's gotta be. Should we talk about the Isaiah scene, though? I mean, we kind of already touched a little bit on it, but just some of the details, like the guy from the bar in Goyang is here.
Yeah, I like that.
It's kind
from 1951.
Dang.
Like, I understand, like, that's a long time ago, but, like, the kind of, like, memory, like, or the impression you have to leave on somebody for 60, like, 70 years.
Well, do you think maybe Isaiah was the only one to actually stop Bucky?
Oh, yeah.
Before Steve.
Because remember, he was like, I whooped your...
Oh, right, he's like, I whooped your butt, but,
yeah.
like, I mean, who knows what is there? I'm sure, well, there was other Isaiahs, right? Other super soldiers to defeat the Winter Soldiers? Or no?
I'm not entirely sure, because he says that, like, every soldier that they sent after him was, like, never came back.
Oh, right, so they died.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
So he is the only one that's, like, beat them down.
So the only good super soldiers alive right now, or have been alive, is Isaiah and Steve.
Yeah.
And now Bucky, I guess. Mm-hmm. But,
See, like, he brings it up, which I thought was kind of weird that they, like, have kind of retconned this. So
I heard they retconned something with them.
Well, I want to know, like, so in the first Captain America movie, like, all the serum gets destroyed. Mm-hmm. And the doctor that, like...
Zola?
No. The one that, like, the one that made Steve.
Oh, right.
Gets shot and he dies.
Yeah.
So, like, how do they keep making super soldiers?
I think that...
I know the Russians kind of made one.
I think they just took his notes and just tried to replicate the serum.
So, obviously they were successful, though.
Yeah, but who knows if there were other adverse side effects.
Yeah.
And Steve had the only perfected serum.
Not according to Red Skull.
What do you mean?
Well, Red Skull said, like, he perfected it with me.
Yeah.
That's when he, like, rips his mask
I have a redhead. Yeah, perfected. Steve was the perfected.
Right.
Red Skull, I mean, perfected is a point of view. As Star Wars is amazingly to point out that everything has a point of view. So maybe intelligently, maybe Red Skull was perfect. But maybe physically Steve was perfect.
Well... As the Doctor points out in the first movie is, it just amplifies what's already there. Oh, so, like, Steve becomes a better man, and right. like his moral good side comes out, while, like, the Red Skull's like, I don't care, like, just
Sith.
You're in my way, like, I'm gonna take you down.
Right.
We're gonna go for straight up world domination. Hydra rules.
So it just sparked another. Theory I heard online this week, but it's
for Star Wars or for this?
For Marvel, not
okay.
It's in with another character, so
okay.
It's something we could talk about in a different video. So yeah, Isaiah was a super soldier and was a hero, and then after all that was jailed for 30 years, where they took his blood, and even Hydra came after him again.
Right. Well, they don't, and he doesn't say that though. He said, "Your people came after me."
Yeah, but Bucky later says, "My people used to be Hydra."
No, and I get that. I just like the racial issue because like Sam brought that up. Like he's like, "Hey man, don't like let that whole like your people thing, get you." He's like, "No, he means Hydra. It's not because I'm white."
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean,
which in the 50s and 60s,
white people take. Again, this is getting into. I mean, do you think white people in general deal with? I don't think we deal with like racial tension at all.
Not as much
towards us.
No, right? And it very it depends on where you live.
Yeah.
Because like obviously we're up here in Minnesota, like we don't really get it. Mm-hmm. But like you go into like some neighborhoods, like I guarantee you, like if we went to Harlem, probably.
Yeah.
Like people would probably look at us weird just for being white.
Yeah.
But
fair enough. Yeah, I guess it depends where you are.
Mm-hmm. I think it's all circumstantial, honestly.
True.
So yeah, Bucky gets arrested.
Sam was actually super furious that no one knew about Isaiah.
Yeah, like I was saying,
someone should have known about him.
Well, having a black superhero that early in history, which honestly I think was probably the issue because it came like him being a hero would have been before like the whole civil rights movement.
Oh yeah.
So like
he would have been a staple.
Which is probably why he went to prison.
Oh man, that's right. I'm sure that's right.
Yeah. So he was literally probably imprisoned for his race.
Dang, that's kind of sucky.
Yeah.
Now that I think about that. But how cool would that have been to?
Have a black hero during
during the
civil rights movement. Oh, they probably did it to hush him up because like having a hero during the civil rights movement would have been huge,
especially for the
movement.
It would have been huge against the South too, who were trying to keep segregation and keep stuff alive.
So. Especially, oh man, if Steve hadn't frozen, like if you could have Steve and Isaiah like standing side by side,
that would have been awesome.
Oh man,
you know how much that would have unified the country?
Absolutely.
I mean, there would be
Captain America, hero of World War II.
National peace instantly.
Hero of World War II.
Right. That gave me chills, dude, just thinking about that.
Our country was founded terribly.
Yes. So yeah, I put in here that I have a feeling that we're not done with Isaiah.
Oh, probably not. Well,
I mean, maybe.
So funny part about that is based on the comics, his, I think grandson, because they don't really mention it, the guy who answers the door.
Yep.
Elijah.
Yep.
Is supposed to like become a black Captain America.
Right.
Or something similar to that in the comics.
I think it becomes like a.
He's supposed to essentially become. Well, he's supposed to become a super soldier.
Oh, right.
Which also makes me wonder, how do they keep making him, especially nowadays?
Because remember he says that. I mean, I'm sure you know. No. They took his blood, remember?
Oh, sorry. No, I do know how he gets his powers. In the comics, Elijah actually gets his powers from the Power Broker, which I think would be a really cool way to introduce him as another character towards the end of this series.
I think they are, because doesn't his character lead the Young Avengers? I think in a video I heard that his character does lead a portion or leads the Young Avengers.
Oh, he might.
And then that's why they're introducing Wanda's kids, Hawkeye's kid. That's why they're introducing all these younger superheroes right now, is because they're getting ready for a Young Avengers.
That'd be cool.
It'd be cool to see.
Yeah.
I really hope it's not. See, I think it'd be cool, but it would have to be geared for more teenage or adults. If you geared it for kids, it would be trash.
Yeah, it'd have to be a teen, young adult kind of, where like you can be a little bit more edgy,
right?
A little bit more,
Like it couldn't be all sunshine and dandelions.
No, God no.
Like you'd have to bring a little bit of the MCU feel. Into it.
Because like if you do that with a kids show, and I know you listen to like John Mulaney from time to time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like he talks about that where like anytime they try to do like adult topics in like kids shows, it always like kind of like drop the ball and like put a stop to like the narrative of the episode of like any show, because like especially when it came to like drugs, because like they would always have, and I love how he talks about this. He's like, you'd have like some random person who like has never been introduced, like just stop the narrative and like introduce drugs, but he'd like hold a joint the way like nobody ever holds a joint. Like it's just like poison, like here man, take this. Yeah. And all of a sudden you're just like, all right, now everybody's awkward and uncomfortable, so thanks.
Thank you.
So yeah, I would definitely say like a teenage shows or like young adult shows could do that.
It'd have to be, if they took it to the severity of the Flash show, like intense as that. Like that's not super intense, and that's not.
I'll give that to you.
Really dull. Like there's a little bit of, edginess to it, but not a whole lot.
Yeah, I just don't want to see them do like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. kind of like. I want to see it more edgy than that.
Oh yeah,
because that just seemed campy.
Oh right. No, I agree.
So yeah, they arrest Bucky.
Yeah.
And then
Captain America frees them.
Bails them out.
Under whose authority?
So the part that made me actually like think that like hate this guy even more was when he's like, I kind of am the government. Like when he said that line, I was like, really, dude?
I'm gonna bring in some real world stuff here for a second. So there's this video of Biden recently saying like, yeah, and then help is on the way, and then like the next speaker was Kamala Harris, and she says, help has arrived, and I'm just like, that is scary,
right?
Like literally his last words were help is on the way, and she says, help is here, everybody, and then it cuts, and I saw another meme where it says like, or it's Reagan saying like, the last thing an American wants to hear is, I'm from the government and we're here to help.
Right? Because, like, that instantly says to, like, somebody like, oh, well, Or no, hold on. It's who's the Fives from Rogue One, right? Is that the one?
Who?
Who's the robot in Rogue One?
Alan Tudyk?
Yeah.
Who does he? Oh, K2SO?
K2SO. When he's like, I'm here to help stop resisting.
Oh, yeah.
I'm here to rescue you. It's like, that's how the government acts. Like, we're here to help you whether you like it or not.
Right.
Which is funny because, like, after that whole thing, I didn't watch it, but I saw what Gina Carano posted about it, and it was literally a picture of Biden standing at, like, the president pulpit with, like, a hand behind him holding, like, puppet strings.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of what Biden is, like.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'm sorry. Like,
you're a public figure.
I'm sorry. If he's been in office for how many days, and this is his first public announcement?
Yeah.
A little sketchy there.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, back to Captain America. I mean, Falcon Winter Soldier.
So, yeah.
So
once again, this captain's so cocky.
I know.
Everything he says in this episode just makes me feel like
you're
trying to make people hate you.
Less and less like him. I liked him in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then after that beginning scene, it just declined and like.
Which, to like the actor, like. It's a sign of a good actor when, like, you can do a good job, and you're such a good job that, like, you hate seeing that character on screen.
Right.
You're just like, ah.
And so, it's good acting.
Right?
So then the therapist is like, we gotta chat per condition of your release.
Oh my gosh.
And when I first watched, I was like, what do you mean a condition of your release? You're just making this up. But Captain America even says, do what you wish with them and then release them to me. So the condition upon her being done with Bucky and Sam was, we gotta have a little talk.
Couples therapy.
Yep.
That staring contest was
just awesome.
Did
you like how they were just like interlocking?
Oh my god! I was like, because when they like went knee to knee, I was like, all right, so they're close, and then she's like closer. I was like, what?
How do you get closer than that?
I would have instantly been like, nope, I'm sorry.
Nope, not on my to-do list today.
No. But,
so the miracle question. When you sleep and a miracle happens, when you wake up, what is the one thing in your life that you would like positively change?
See, and I wasn't expecting them to like go straight towards like the couples aspect where they're like,
right.
Well, I wish you would like talk less. Well, that's the exact same for me. I would have been like, well, all right, well, if it's a miracle, like obviously I'm not gonna wish it for somebody next to me. I would be like, I want to be like on a grander scale, right?
Right.
Well, I'm surprised neither one of them has said like it's a miracle, right? Steve's back.
Oh yeah, dude.
Like.
Imagine that being dropped.
Both of them, I would have imagined like.
What if they both said Steve coming back at the same time?
That's something I could have pictured coming from them.
Yeah.
But like I hate the way you sound when you
again. If they would have said that though, that would have given me so much hope for him to come back though. Especially after Kevin Feige saying it's probably not looking good that he's coming back. So.
Right.
That would just give too much hope. Like Hawkeye says to...
don't do that to me.
Don't do that to me. What? Give me hope.
Right?
That's a powerful line.
But yeah, the...
Why does Sam aggravate you? And then he's about to say something smirky and he's got that grin on his face and he's like, don't say something like stupid or like immature or whatever. He's like, fine.
I like that they like kind of found common ground where they're just like, all right, let's get this mission over with, and then we can go our separate ways. Which obviously, like, we know that like they're gonna be going into this mission hating each other, but like of course the mission's gonna bring them close together, which I'm hoping is kind of like they understand each other better on like how their relationship with Steve was.
Right.
But then hearing Bucky like say like say what he did about like Steve. Like if Steve was wrong about you,
then he was wrong about me too.
I felt so bad for Bucky.
I know. See, this is where the ending scene kind of made me nervous when we'll get to that in a second, but so like John Walker confronts Bucky and Sam first here and tells them that they can't work together essentially because they have all these like authorizations they have to get approved for.
And we're like
we're free agents, so we can kind of do it our own way. And then John Walker's like, well then do me a favor and stay the heck out of my way. That just instantly made them rivals.
Not only that, so that kind of gave me. You ever hear like the theory about like people who graduate high school and become like cops? How they get that power and they're just like, don't mess with me. Like I can do whatever. Like I can arrest you if I want. Kind of deal. It almost has that same feel. Like he's got the shield, he's got the suit now, so he's like, all right, well, I can literally do whatever I want. Like you can't stop me.
Right.
And I think that's where like would really make me like start, or that kind of like just put the icing on the cake of I hate this guy, I hate his character. Oh, yeah. But okay, but this is the point I wanted to bring up. So in this scene, this is like the extra part of it. Every time, and I don't know if it's just his face, did it seem to you? It seemed to me at least that like Walker always has like a dip in his mouth.
Yeah, like, thank you. I was thinking the same thing. It was like his dip in his mouth.
It did, and I'm like, oh man, like I'm just waiting for him to like spit once. But like, I feel really bad if that's the way his lip normally is.
I think it is.
Exactly. But it constantly looked like he had a dip in.
Yeah, his face just did look too big for the helmet thing.
Right.
Like especially his cheek and jawline and stuff. Way too big.
But I mean, like, if Kurt Russell's your dad, like, how do you get a...
Have you looked at that family tree?
No.
So, he's half brothers with Kate and Oliver Hudson.
What?
Yeah, you know what those guys are?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they share the same mom.
Weird.
Yep. Kurt Russell and the similar mom have been together since, like, 83 or something like that. And then, so, Oliver and Kate are a little bit older than this guy.
Okay. Huh.
So yeah, the Flag Smashers. It cuts to the Flag Smashers, and they're loading up this little like cargo plane thing, and about to try to leave. And they say the power broker is coming for them.
Yep.
Or his men are coming for them. I don't think the power broker himself.
Yeah, because
they just said his men are coming.
Yeah, that guy who gets out of the truck with like the bulletproof vest. Right. I'm hoping he's not the power broker because that would be a major letdown.
That would be a major letdown for a nice reveal.
Well, not only that, but like that guy looked like he was FBI or something because like the other guys that got out were like looked tactical, like they were ready to like go to town. This guy looked like he was, like a desk jockey who like got shoved out onto like a field agent position.
Right.
All right, we're gonna give you a bulletproof vest and you're gonna go escort these guys and figure out what's going on.
All right.
But yeah, like the sacrifice that guy made too was
one world. It's like, man, you're willing to die for this guy,
which is even better in my opinion. Like,
oh yeah, it makes it even more mysterious. And like, man, this cause that we don't really entirely know what it is. I mean, we know the generalized idea, but we don't know the details of what that entails. Like, like they want things to be, things without borders, a world of chaos, and the way things were during the blip, and.
So, with the concept of Marvel's big, like, I'm talking, like, from a comic point of view, Marvel has a very big, like, history of doing, like, people get their powers through, like, a lot of accidents, right?
Yeah.
So, like, Bruce Banner, Daredevil, Spider-Man,
everyone almost.
Most people.
Right.
Do you think that, since we haven't heard of them before the blip issue, that the power broker somehow, because of the blip, when like a lot of people went missing, do you think he was part of like some accident that gave him the ability to like dole out powers? Because I don't know much about the power broker as a character.
I don't either, but I think, I don't know for certainty, but maybe he is the creator of some of the serum. Because they said they're stealing medicine. Remember, they're like, oh, they're stealing he's like, oh, it looks like they're stealing medicine and stuff, but it wasn't medicine. In one of the videos I watched, it was actually more serum or something like that. That's why he got the text, like, you took something that was mine or whatever. Like, the serum is mine, not just medicine. It's
more
serum.
I guess
that they took from Isaiah's blood, I think, and then made more of it.
I think because of my ignorance of the situation, I guess I would like, because my instinct for that was that they took the powers. Like, he gave them powers, but they never paid up.
Sure.
Because, like, that's what the power broker does. Like, people pay for powers.
So you think... So maybe there's more people that are super soldiers that are after this group of 8 super soldiers, or 7 now, super soldiers? Because I think maybe they just stole more serum or more whatever from the power broker, but these guys broke off from the power broker who's behind the Flag Smashers. But they broke off and took some of the stuff because they thought what they were doing was ultimately wrong. And so they took supplies for their own cause, one world, one people.
Maybe. Because I thought the original was when Bucky got on the truck, didn't he say that they had like medicine or something?
He thought it was medicine, but it's a first glance. You break open the truck and you're looking at vials and stuff like that. Like, who knows what it is?
Maybe.
I don't know. We'll find out again eventually, I guess.
And then we get this final scene where Bucky and Sam. Sam's like, you really want to sit in a room alone with this guy?
I know, because all he has to do is say 10 magic words and he's the Winter Soldier again.
Right? Well, and I'm...
Unless he's been de-brainwashed, but...
Well,
again, he even says, what if Steve was wrong?
Right? I'm more curious about, like, whether or not, because if we can see if his time in Wakanda has gotten rid of that. Like... Because, I mean, sure he did a lot with, like, neural stuff with Vision.
Right.
So I'm wondering if they can get rid of the whole brainwashing issue for, Bucky.
It's very possible. I'd like to see it.
I would love to see, like, Zemo's going to totally try it, and he's going to start ranting off, like, those words.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
Oh, another thing. In those videos with Sebastian Shaw and then press conference tours and stuff, one of them is Sebastian Shaw sitting there, and some... woman from like another country, but she's speaking okay English, and she's like, I bought this book online, and it's the red book, and she's like, there's 10 words that if I say them, like, you will start acting, and he was like, no, don't say those words, and she's like, fire truck, and like starts saying all the words or whatever, and he's like, no, and then just starts freaking out, he's like, no, I'm just joking. Nice. So yeah, then we find out Zemo.
Yep.
See the shot of Zemo
sitting in that prison cell.
Yep. It was perfect. It was cinematically a good scene.
Oh, like
just him sitting there and just match the score and just him looking up and then I don't know that with the.
I wonder who he's playing chess with.
Yeah, it's good. Oh, you think there's someone in the prison cell with him?
Maybe like he's got a visitor.
Yeah. A visitor before Sam and Bucky.
Yes.
Like maybe the power broker.
Either power broker or I wonder if he's sitting in a cell with John Walker.
I'm gonna be pissed.
Right? Like
I'm gonna kill Kurt Russell's son, dude. Oh man, that would just suck.
Right.
I would hate Captain America.
Which I mean, yeah, we're getting to that point where like. It's gonna be nice to see him switch over to like U.S. Agent because like seeing him like be like I'm Captain America like
I can't do it, dude.
In one episode in, and I'm just like just take it off, give up.
So did you see the cell number that was attached to Zemo? 2187.
Anything on that?
Yeah, a lot.
Oh
actually.
Man, okay.
So. The first reference is in the very first Star Wars. That was Princess Leia's prison cell number.
What?
2187. Then another callback is Finn from the new Star Wars movies.
FN
2187.
So they're dropping Star Wars hints?
Either that or 2187 is a very popular Disney term.
Maybe. I mean, it could be like...
code for something.
Yeah, there's a lot of Disney does that, or Pixar does that, I think, with a lot of their animation, because like they drop like the same number for like, because it references like a classroom number or something.
Yeah.
So
613 or something.
Something like that.
Yeah. So yeah, that was just a little interesting thing. It was just the little 2187. It's been popping up in a lot of Disney content recently. But that's pretty much the episode of the Falcon and Winter Soldier.
I'm excited to see what happens next.
Oh, I'm super excited. Obviously, we're getting Zemo, so we're going to get see what he knows about the Flag Smashers, potentially, and all these different super soldiers that... I just want to know what happened with Isaiah's blood.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's obviously the reason why there's more.
And we're definitely not done with Isaiah.
No. I mean, I don't think he's going to have any kind of big role, but I think he's going to have just this kind of almost like a flashback kind of role. Just like, they won't maybe not show flashbacks for him, but I'm just saying more in a sense of they'll just show... He'll just be more into the story because of his blood, essentially. Mm-hmm. More blood on his hands. And
we keep seeing, like, things seem to be moving a lot faster with this series than, like, with WandaVision.
Yeah. I mean, there is only 6 episodes.
Exactly.
It's a third of the way done.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see who the Power Broker is, like, at least who the actor is.
You think we'll get that next episode? Or do you think we'll maybe get that... I mean, we gotta get it by the 6th, obviously.
Oh,
before the 6th.
I imagine we'll see it in, like, because the next...
4th?
In probably, like, 4 or 5.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Probably 4, because I imagine, like, 5 and 6 would be, like, if they don't take down the Power Broker, like, introducing, like, how he fits in with, like, the next part of Phase 4.
True.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I don't know.
And then I'm also kind of curious if we're going to see, like, if John Walker's going to have, like, an angry side that kind of comes out. Because, like, the way he delivered that last line, like, stay out of my way, like, makes me think, like, this version of Captain America is willing to do whatever it takes.
Even the bad?
Even the bad.
He doesn't have that moral compass that Steve has.
Exactly.
Do you think that Falcon and Winter Soldier are going to have to fight John Walker at some point? Possibly. Like, not as the main villain necessarily, maybe, but...
Probably not.
Maybe to get through him to get to the bad guys. Like, to get through the power broker and such.
Yeah. Which is funny because, like, in the comics, Battlestar is U.S. agent... I keep wanting to say USA agent. U.S. agent's sidekick, right? But in the comics as well... Battlestar actually ends up fighting against him at some point and siding with Steve Rogers during the whole Civil War event in the comics.
Okay.
Which I thought was kind of cool.
So do you think maybe there'll be tension between Lamar and John, and Lamar will leave John for Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Maybe.
I don't know. I like that theory.
There's a lot going on.
There is.
But,
that's all I got for it.
That's it. Thanks everybody for watching our episode, or our, I guess, rundown of Falcon and Winter Soldier, the Star Spangled Man. If you want to become a Phandom Knight yourself, check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Apple, and Spotify podcasts.
You got it.
Comment, subscribe, let us know.
Let us know what you want to see next.
Yeah.
Any trailer reactions you want to see?
Definitely. We would love to do more of those.
Yeah, I love those actually.
Honestly, I don't even care what we react to. Like,
yeah, just send some ideas our way.
Right?
Well, we got some ideas, but send some our way. We love them.
And any feedback. I guess God bless America.
Yes. Good morning, America.